in from? I see Bernita out there.
Hey, Bernita.
Hey, Keisha Clark.
Hey,
Jocelyn Smith. Hey, guys. I am so excited. We're just waiting on Tiffany to join. But Ashley, what are you going to be talking to people about tonight?
So we are talking about down payment assistance in Gwinnett County. You guys, for the longest, we have been telling clients when they're interested in Gwinnett County, like, there's no down payment assistance available there. And now one of our very own preferred lenders has access to a down payment assistance program in Gwinnett. Woo, woo! So we want to come on to share that information with you. Hey, Malika.
What's up, Malika?
To jump on really quick just to share that information with you. Tiffany is absolutely amazing, you guys. She works with just about every down payment assistance program in Georgia. So when she got Gwinnett, I was like, oh my God, we have to do a live. We have to. For some reason,
That's okay, just keep going.
Okay. We're gonna add you one more time, Tiff. Let's see who. Oh, there she is. Hey, Tiffany.
It won't do it on the computer, so it's making me do it on my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have told you that.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Definitely has to be on your phone.
Gotcha. Okay. All good.
Awesome. Hey, LaVonda. She checked in last week. She's been supporting you, girl. I appreciate you, LaVonda. I do. All right, guys. So this is Tiffany Washington. She is absolutely amazing. She's one of our preferred lenders again, but she's with Cardinal Financing, and she is a beast. If she can get it done, if she's one of, well, we have two preferred lenders, but out of the two that we have, this one, if she can't get it done, she's gonna tell you up front. She's not gonna send you through the whole transaction and try to get you to jump through all these different hoops. But if she can get it done by any means necessary, she's gonna figure out a way. So, and this is
I appreciate that.
So without further ado, Tiffany.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for having me. I am technologically, in terms of this, I'm challenged, so I apologize. But no, like, I'm super excited. So I live in Gwinnett. And so I've been trying to get this program added to Cardinal's kind of arsenal for a little bit. It's not a new program necessarily, but what I find is that when home buying becomes like less attainable, a lot of the programs update their guidelines to try to get more people in.
Okay.
So what they've done in Gwinnett County, it used to be where you would get $7,500. There was like a $250,000 maximum on the price, 640 score. But they're not playing with us no more. They're like, we need people to use this program and use this money. So they've increased the incentive to $10,000.
Wow.
So it will cover, it can go towards down payment and go towards closing costs, any of those settlement charges. If you're purchasing a home that is existing, am I echoing?
No, sorry. No, you're connected to another device.
Sure. Okay. So if you're purchasing a home that's existing, the maximum purchase price is $323.
Okay.
And if it's new construction, then it's $346. And then they actually lowered their credit score from 640, and it's just one score that you had to have that was above their minimum. It's down to 580. So if you qualify, basically, if someone,
you said the max home that they can buy is $346,000.
If it's a new construction, and then if it's a pre-existing, it's $323.
Okay.
So
got it.
That's their guidelines in terms of max purchase price, and then the borrower just has to have one credit score that's 580 or higher.
Got it. Okay.
So $10,000, 323 or 346, and then a 580 credit score. Has to be a first-time home buyer, meaning the person cannot have owned a home or had ownership in a home in the last 3 years. And then it's a 0%, zero payment, 5-year deferred loan program. So that basically means that $10,000, as long as they stay in the home for at least 5 years, it's forgiven.
Nice.
And so there's no payment on it. It doesn't, and they don't set the interest rate. So, you can go with whatever the market rate is. Some of the programs have higher rates to kind of take advantage of their programs. This one does not. Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing would be income. They go by the what we call AMI, and that stands for the area median income. and it's going to go on a scale from a one-person home all the way to 8. So for one person, it's 57,200 is the maximum income, and then it gets incrementally higher. Once you get to a household of 8, it's $107,800. So they're really, targeting people that can use these funds to get into homes that, can benefit from the $10,000. I do see someone asked DTI, so 43%. And for people that don't know what DTI is, that's debt to income ratio. So we take your gross monthly income, so before taxes come out, multiply that by 43%, subtract any other debts that are on credit. So if you have a car or student loans, things like that, all of that's going to come out of whatever that 43% is. And then what's left is what the maximum mortgage payment can be.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's really cool. The only thing that I've noticed that they add to versus some other programs is they want to do their own home inspection. So you have, and I have, so if people put their emails in the chat or reach out to me directly, I have an actual checklist that I got from them today that goes over some of the things they're looking for in the home inspection, just to make sure you're not sending people, to use this program with homes that we know won't qualify for their benefits. But that's really the only thing outside of, a standard down payment assistance program that I've seen so far with, and it's called Gwinnett County Home Stretch.
And just to be clear, that inspection, is that a fee that the buyer would have to incur, or is that something that they would take themselves?
Good question. Gwinnett County pays for the home inspection.
Okay.
If they find issues that need to be rectified and like another inspection is required to show that the items have been fixed, then it is up, the buyer has to pay for that inspection for them to come back.
Okay. Got it. Understood.
I see them in the chat. So yes, I'm going to capture all these email addresses and I'll send out that checklist so that you all can kind of see. It's lengthy, but it's really, they're looking for safety, just like any kind of regular FHA, VA kind of appraisal. They just want to make sure that the home is safe and structurally sound.
Okay. And another question, and I'm sorry, guys, put your questions in the chat. Please jump in. I'm super excited about this program because I know
Me too.
it's a game changer.
Yes.
So typically, when we do down payment assistance, it can take anywhere from 30 to 45 days for the deals to close. Are we still looking at that time frame, or is it longer?
It's about 30. So I'm looking right out there thing. It says estimate is 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
And that is because we do have to send them a package for them to review. And so it's kind of that back and forth. I would say closer to 30 days just because of how quickly we do things at Cardinal. So we can kind of get them the information that they need, sooner than maybe others.
Okay.
And I just added Tiffany's email address and her phone number inside of the comments, so you guys can go in and see all of her information and how you apply for a loan with her. So that way, if she doesn't get an opportunity to capture you guys' information,
Yeah,
I'll keep adding her information as well. Tiffany, one of the things that I'm seeing is that, just historically, Gwinnett is higher when it comes to new construction. The price points are a lot higher than other counties. So have you had an opportunity, and if not, at a later date, would you be able to give us specific communities that could fall into that price point? Because I know maybe a townhouse, but a single family home in Gwinnett, you probably would have to go much further out in Gwinnett to get a new construction at that price point. So have you seen any new construction at that price point that's in Gwinnett County so people can take advantage of this program?
Well, y'all know I don't mess with new construction because they all have their preferred lenders, and I don't do it. But no, I don't know. So that's definitely something that I can see. But I think you're probably right. It's probably going to be a townhome community, or it's going to be kind of on the outskirts of Gwinnett that are going to maybe have homes in that price range.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what part of Gwinnett. I know, like sometimes certain parts of. Okay. Awesome.
No, all of Gwinnett County is covered, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gwinnett is the biggest county in Georgia. So yeah, it's the whole entire county.
Okay, that's what I was asking because it's huge.
Yeah. No, they do not have restrictions there. And I see someone asked for me to repeat the max income. So it's on a sliding scale from one, like, so a household of one all the way up to 8. So I'm not going to go through each one of them. I can send it to you. But like for example, for a one person household, it's 57,200, and then for up to 8 people in the household, it's 107,800. And just keep in mind, they do look at total household income. So if there's anyone that lives in the home that's over 18, they're going to be looking for either their income or an affidavit saying that they don't earn any money. So the total, anyone of, I guess, earning age would have to report their income for this program.
Got it. The average family is maybe 4 people, mom, dad, and maybe 2 children. Can you just give us the number, that income for 4 people?
Absolutely, 81,650.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good number. Okay.
Yeah.
Tiffany, what other down payment assistance programs are you familiar with that would be able to help people get into home ownership? I know we got several real estate agents that are on here watching right now. So, what other down payment assistance programs are you familiar with that you could help them engage with?
Yes. So a lot of people have heard of Georgia Dream. So that one you can purchase in the entire state of Georgia. They give $10,000 to kind of anyone that qualifies, and then $12,500 for what we call protectors. So police, nurse, educators, like anyone that falls in that. The cool thing about that designation is like you don't have to be a teacher to get it. You could work in the school. So you could be a janitor at the school, or you could work in the lunchroom, and you are a part of the education system. Same with, a doctor's or at the police station. So Georgia Dream is a big one. Atlanta Housing is an awesome program that I like. They give $20,000 to kind of the lay person, and then it's increased to $25,000 for protectors. They go with a flat income, so that 81,650 is going to be the maximum for Atlanta Housing. The home has to be in the city of Atlanta, though. So it has to pay city of Atlanta taxes to qualify for that. So if it's like a Atlanta address, but it's really South Fulton or College Park, those aren't going to qualify for that program. So that's one that's very restrictive on the location. And then we have some others that aren't necessarily grants, meaning that you have to repay it. So we have 100% FHA loan, where instead of the borrower having to bring that 3.5% for their down payment, they can finance it. And then we have the same for conventional. So the minimum down payment for conventional is 3%. Instead of having to bring that, they can finance it. And it's usually over about 10 years.
Okay. Now, with any of these programs, I saw somebody ask this earlier, with the program in Gwinnett or Atlanta Housing Authority or any of the other programs, are you able to layer the down payment assistance programs?
Yes, outside of Georgia Dream. Georgia Dream does not participate with anyone else. So Georgia Dream is the one that is pretty much standalone. And that's because you get into lien position. So the way that these programs work is we're gonna be the primary lien holder, because we have the bulk of the mortgage, and then they become second mortgages or second liens on the property. And when you start to add, different down payment assistance programs, you have multiple liens on the home. So that can get a little bit tricky. But yeah, a lot of the programs are open to layering, as long as obviously the person qualifies, for both, because none of them have the same requirements. So as long as they can fit into both of them, then yeah, they can do it.
Someone asked, what states do you service?
I service Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, the great state of Illinois. I'm from Chicago. And Virginia.
I see Michelle Pemberton out here watching. She's a realtor out in Illinois. So Michelle,
I love it. Yes, let's connect. So yeah, those are the states that I'm licensed in. We do have a referral program here at Cardinal. So technically I can speak with, people in any state. And then, we would have you with a licensed loan officer for the locking and things like that. But I can be a liaison in any of the 50 states.
Nice.
Awesome. What does that look like? I'm sorry, I never knew that. What does that look like, being a liaison in other states? So you would refer them with a partner?
Kind of, yeah. So the generally speaking, as a loan officer, when you're licensed in a certain state, it just means you can't discuss interest rates and programs.
Okay.
So you would have to be with someone that's licensed in that state to have those types of conversations. But outside, like getting documents, answering just general questions, I can still be with them through the process. I'd still have access to the file. But yeah, locking and things like that for rate is something you'd have to do with the person that's licensed in that state.
Got it. Okay.
One of the things I think that we find more often than not is that, and this is probably a terrible, I like to do my research before I throw numbers out here, but I'm just going to give a number based on what my experience is. So y'all don't go research this and say Nicole gave us some wrong statistics. But I want to say like 90% of the people here lately this year that have been coming to me to qualify for a home haven't been qualified. Credit scores are, it seems like since COVID was at its peak, that credit scores are just being, our credit scores are much lower than they've ever been since I've really been in real estate. I'm seeing more unemployed people. There's nothing we can do if you don't have a job, but I'm seeing the credit scores and the incomes are much lower than they've been before. So I'm definitely excited to see that they have increased the limits.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm really seeing is that more people really aren't making the type of money that they used to, but more importantly, credit is just trash right now. So with that, and I can completely understand it because I missed that one Macy's payment and it dropped my score with 80, 90 points or something crazy.
Yep.
And it was a $25 payment. You could have loaned me that $25. But
yeah.
with that, Tiffany, is there any, do you guys at Cardinal, do you offer any kind of programs to assist people that aren't ready?
So not necessarily. So I can only speak for myself, right? So I personally will. I call it like, so my mentor when I first got into mortgages, she always would say it's not if someone can buy a house, it's when.
Yeah.
And I added and how. So it's not if,
I'm
it's
right,
when and
right,
how.
not if
And so I will talk to people. I'll send them a breakdown. So just kind of how I explained to you, how the breakdown of debt to income ratio. I'll say, hey, these are the things that are keeping your score down. This is how scores are calculated. This is why you are, this is why your score is what it is. And this is what we can do to get you on pace to buy a home. So that is not a cardinal service necessarily, but that's something that I do for people because, like I said, we all could have been in a situation where our score drops 80 points because of something, just that we forgot. And I'm not going to turn anyone away. Yeah. So yeah, send me. I always say I don't, in terms of working with agents, because I know there's a lot of agents here, I don't expect you all to qualify people. It's nice when you make sure they have a job or, something like that, but I will talk to anybody. Like my role in the transaction is to get them financially ready to purchase a home. You don't have to take that on. So if you just get a name and say, hey, this person is interested in buying, I'll talk to them, get what we need and let you know if it's yay or nay for now, and then tell you when and how they're going to buy a house later.
Yeah, you make our jobs really, really easy. With that part of it, with us just being able to just turn the people loose to you and you figure out whether they're ready or not.
Yeah.
Good question. You know how down payment assistance usually will drop the amount that someone qualifies to purchase. Are you seeing that that's the same thing across the board with this Gwinnett County down payment assistance program as well? Like if someone qualifies for $300,000, but then they decide to do the down payment assistance, is it going to decrease their buying power?
Yes, is the simple answer, only because of that debt ratio. So an FHA loan, for people that have, good to great credit can go up to, so Gwinnett's 43%, FHA will allow some people to go up to 56.99%. So they're qualifying for less just because Gwinnett County is not allowing, a higher debt ratio there.
Got it. How does this program work with self-employed individuals?
They don't get involved in any of that. So they're going to look at to make, so just like we would in terms of averaging the last 2 years or the last year, whatever we have to do for the actual guidelines of the loan. They're not doing anything necessarily extra. They do. So once you submit your paperwork to them, they will kind of interview the person. So it's called, they have like a pre-application packet that you submit, and then they'll have you submit your income documents, your 3 credit scores, just so that they can confirm that at least one of them is 580, and then your asset documents. So that outside of that, it's not like a full underwrite like some of the other programs where we have to send everything to them. This one, they just really want to make sure that the person earns under their maximum, and that they have the credit scores that qualify. And
So
they do
only,
require an 8-hour course that people can take online.
so only one of the scores has to be a 580. So if they have a 5.5, a 505, a 510, and a 580, they're in there.
Yes. However, for FHA, well, for Cardinal anyway, if they do not have a middle score of 580 or higher, then 10% is required to be put down. So really, they do say one. I think they have that one score, this amount or higher when it used to be 640. But right now, it kind of is like a middle score needs to be 580.
Now, wait a minute though, because what you had just told us is that they can layer the program. So even if they got to do 10% down, if they can layer this program with another program, then they will be fine.
No other program takes 580.
Got it.
Not in
Gotta
Gwinnett
do it.
anyway. So
Okay.
Atlanta housing
Atlanta
will,
housing
but you
does.
can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's why I was like, it's rare that you can get them to really line up like that. But yeah, that would good thought. But yeah, that one, there's no other
I'm
program in Gwinnett
I'm
that has
trying.
580.
I'm
I like it.
Awesome. Any other questions in the chat you see?
You guys have any other questions about now? I'm just going to be transparent. Tiffany is Ashley's preferred. I was about to say preferred closer attorney. Jesus, it's late.
Speaking into existence now.
Y'all know I am over here on a sick brain right now, but is Ashley's preferred lender. She is my preferred lender, and she's extremely knowledgeable. I'm super duper excited that she took the time to join us tonight. So what questions do you guys have about down payment assistance that maybe we didn't cover? I think we tried to hit the hot points, and then we answered everything that was in the chat. But what else do you guys have for Tiffany? And then I will make sure that while Ashley is talking, I don't want y'all to think I'm being rude. I'm actually watching here for questions and putting Tiffany's information. So I'll be putting Tiffany's information in here for you guys. But what questions do you have for Tiffany? And Ashley, you have anything else while I put her info here?
I know right now, and I hope, because Top Tier Transactions team, the group on Facebook is really geared towards, we have a lot of content that will be geared towards the newer agents. So Tiffany, I just want to kind of just talk, I know I introduced you in the beginning, but just really talk about how instrumental you are in our business and how you can be instrumental in others. Anytime there's any new program or anything that can help any of our clients, we always get a phone call, flyers from Tiffany, and she makes it where we are educated on the process. Tiffany is super shy, you guys. So she does not like being on social media, but just because we have been doing business with her, I hope, or just because she just loves giving back to her clients and doing whatever she can to go the extra mile, that she is on this live tonight at 7 o'clock. Yes. This is major. Major.
Yes. No, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I'm not like I'm definitely more of a behind the scenes person. Like I love to take good care. Like I don't even feel like loan officer is a sales role, but I really just look at it as customer service. Like I really just like to get in there and work and help people get into homes. So I appreciate y'all for real. And in terms of being new agents, one thing someone, and I can't remember who told me this, but they said, be the only rookie on your team. So when you are a new agent, you want to make sure you're partnering with people that have been in the industry for a while. So if it's a lender, your closing attorney, like if you got into the industry at the same time as your cousin, that's fine. Let her figure it out a little bit, but you need to be with someone that's been in the industry for a while and that knows things. Because you're gonna make mistakes, and I make, some people make mistakes, but you definitely want to be with people that can help you through that. So that you're, not struggling alone.
And when I say that's one of the most powerful things that I've heard in a while, Tiffany, because to be honest with you, when I first started, who was the person who taught me everything?
Jared.
and
Andy.
Tiffany.
Tiffany Hall.
Tiffany Hall.
Yes, Tiffany
Before
Hall.
even Jarek, when I first got
Yes.
into this business.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tiff.
Yes.
I have pregnancy brain. I'm sorry, Tiffany, if you're on here.
But Tiffany, my closing attorney, Tiffany
Mhm.
Hawes, known as everybody's favorite closing attorney here in Georgia, she was so instrumental in my career as far as learning how to write contracts, because she's looking at contracts every day, all day. So in my contracts, even before, and I was at KW at the time, so even before my contracts would get to compliance, she would be the one that would call me and say, Nicole, this is, you know, how this contract should have looked. This is what you should have done. And when she would see new trends coming out, she would pick the phone up and call me. Or when I started actually closing on a regular basis, I was only closing with her. I was very loyal to her, and I only would go to her for all of my closings. And she never missed an opportunity to educate me on things when I came into the office, things that she started seeing. She would get the information first about where the hot areas were, because she would know when new construction was coming up. She would know where the hot areas were, because she would start getting a ton of contracts in those areas. So it definitely, when I say my lender and my closing attorney taught me more than my broker.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I call Tiffany all the time, like, what's the interest rate
Yeah.
this week? Where we at right now, girl?
Yeah. And, you know, another thing just to think, so like when you all are writing contracts, like there's a maximum to what the seller can contribute. So, you know, like that's certain things that, you know, a loan officer that might not, you know, necessarily know all the ins and outs wouldn't know that. And they have you under contract and then it falls apart because they've agreed to something that's not possible. So yeah, I can't stress that enough. I would love to work with everybody. But, you know, even if it's not me, just make sure you're with someone that's been in the industry, and that can, you know, help you along.
Make it
sure.
her. Make it her. I see Sean Hudson joined us. Sean does a lot of work in Gwinnett too. Sean, please make sure you go back and rewatch this live, because she just talked about a down payment assistance program that actually came to Gwinnett County. And if you don't already have a preferred lender, Tiffany's absolutely amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And like I also say, you know, I don't want to break up happy homes. So if you are with a lender, that is all good. But if they ever mess up, come see me.
Tiff, I have one more question. Dang it. It'll come back to me. I know.
She's got my
I remember
grandson
that.
in her belly. She's got my grandson in her belly. Okay, I do have one last question while Ashley is thinking about her question. As far as where, from a lender perspective, where do you see the market going in 2024 as far as interest rates are concerned, and loan programs and different things like that? Do you see the market loosening up a little bit? What direction do you see the market going in?
Well, so first of all, interest rates are mainly driven by inflation. And so what happened during the pandemic when rates were super low, you got a lot of people that had the power to buy, but not a lot of inventory. So it drove up all the prices, which is inflationary. So now what the Fed and what the government's been trying to do is raise rates, so that it can kind of slow some of that down. And I think what they're seeing is that the damage, it's a lot of damage. We're not going to go back to 2% and 3% interest rates. Like, I don't think that will ever happen again, unfortunately. I know, sorry. But I do believe that there's a lot of pressure on them to make home ownership more affordable, because someone that qualified, you know, last year for 350 might be at 250 this year just because of the rates and no fault of their own.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is that in terms of inventory and things like that, I just had a call on it actually earlier today, and they're thinking that it's and they looked at Atlanta specifically, and they said we're a very healthy market. Like, they don't see there being like shortages or, you know, any of that thing, like where people think their values are going to go down or things like that. For rates, it's so hard to predict because we didn't predict COVID, right? No one knew that was going to come, and so it's just a market where you just don't know necessarily. I'm hearing that, you know, in about like mid 2024, the hope is that we'll be in the fives. But,
Okay.
who knows? Who knows? So what I'm telling people is it's home ownership isn't necessarily going to get easier anytime soon, because just like when rates dropped in, 2020, 2021, and all these people flooded the market, when they get to 5, that looks a lot better than 7 and 8. We're going to have the same thing where a lot of people are coming back into the market and ready to buy. So if you can buy now and refinance, because if you can't get, like, if the home is available and you qualify, what do they say, marry the home, date the rate. Because we just do not know when things will change. All we know is what's right in front of us right now. And knowing that, so like if you purchase a home now and rates get worse, you're protected, right? If you purchase a home now and rates get better, you refinance. It's a win-win.
Yeah. I've been I've been watching the economic calendar lately. So I've been catching like the Fed speakers. And when they said that they were going to continue to raise the interest rate to combat
Inflation.
I was like, what? That
Yeah.
can't be our only solution?
It's not working, boo. It's not working. It's not working. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. We actually got, so what you're talking about, it's the CPI report that comes out once a month, so the Consumer Price Index, and it actually was favorable for the first time in a long time. So we saw a nice improvement in rates on Monday. So I don't know. I saw something that said that they might kind of back off of that because it's not working.
Yeah.
So continuing, because people will always need a place to live.
Right.
And if apartments are $2,000 a month, well, I might as well be in a home and paying, it might not be 2,000, it might be 2,500, but still, people always need housing. So they have to do something to make it so that people can, buy and have a place to live.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured that we will have a change in the interest rates next year because it's primary election year. So I'm like,
That too.
Well,
Yeah.
we shall see. So I am hoping that we get to that 5%. But listen, when I tell y'all, I'm be ready to fight for my clients. So I'm coming for y'all.
Yeah.
These contracts.
No. Yes. Yeah. No, every day I'm looking like, and it's hard. Like the thing is, COVID and all that skewed our brains so much. Like when I first entered the industry in 2006, rates were 8%, 7 and 8%. So to be any lower than that, and and that was low at that time. So it's just like now, yes, 7 and 8 doesn't seem like a nice number, but it's just historically, it's just not that high. But 5 would be much nicer, and I think that's probably where we're headed. Probably nothing lower than that.
It's so crazy because now when I hear people say, oh my God, interest rates are so high, I'm like, are you serious? This is the rates, because I'm still relatively a new agent. I've only had my license for 6 years. So when I started in the business, that's what rates were. They were 6-7%. It's been that long. It's been 6 years. It's crazy. It's been 6 healthy years. But yeah, that's what it was. So like when it dropped down to 2 to 3, I think people get short-term memory and short-term amnesia at the same time of like, that's not normal. Like,
Yeah. You're like, I'm people. Yeah. Yeah. And also a lot of people think that there's like going to be a housing crash. So I've heard that a lot. That is not, like, values are not moved. Like they might not. So we got a lot of appreciation over the last few years. Like homes were getting like $100,000 in equity in 2 years. I don't think that's going to continue. Because again, that's inflationary, but home values are not going down. So I always encourage people, like, if you can get in, because I don't want to say it's going to get worse, but I think it is going to get, that there's going to be a lot more competition. Because right now I'm seeing contracts with seller concessions and, all types of things like that. Once people are back in the market, we're going to be in a situation again where people are bidding over, what the contract price is and not asking for seller concessions and things like that. So
get in the game, guys.
Get in the game. Get in.
I heard my broker
say,
and there is a lot of agents on here, but we as agents, we're salespeople. We got our license. We agreed to be salesmen, right? We have to figure out a way to sell, whether the interest rate is at 5%, 7%, 8%, 15%. You still have to figure out a way to sell. And what's always going to be a drop in your bucket is that it's always better to pay your mortgage than someone else's. So if you figure out a million ways to say that, you win.
Yeah.
And you'll get that client. So,
That's very true.
And one of the things I think that people, what we and 90% of people on here are real estate agents, but one of the things that we 100% as agents have to do a better job in this coming year, that I think that we really failed the communities at this year, is educating people.
Mhm.
I think that we're so focused because a lot of people, it's no secret, a lot of agents had less sales this year than they did prior years before. So agents were so focused on trying to go and get the sale that we didn't do a good job of educating people. And the worst thing that can continue to happen going into 2024 is to have people still listen to their neighbors and to people that haven't bought a house in 20 years and listen to what the rhetoric that the streets are saying, because it's not right. So if we don't get out here and do a much, much better job at educating the masses, people will continue to say things like it's not a good time to purchase. They'll continue to say things like interest rates are high. But when you hear those kind of things, it's because we're not doing a good job as in masses of educating people.
Nope, I definitely agree with that.
Absolutely.
Well, Tiffany, I've enjoyed you.
Yes.
I've enjoyed
Thank
being here
y'all.
with
Thank
my
y'all.
two babies, my grandbaby and my baby. But I definitely have enjoyed you. And I want to just give you your flowers here right now for Ashley and for me.
Aw.
If Megan's watching, she's going to be like, I gave your mama them today.
Right.
But I want to give you your flowers while you're here. Thank you so much for always being somebody that we can depend on and that we can turn to in good times and challenging times when our businesses have been up or down. You always come to stand in the gap. So I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Like I said, I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can, because that's really what I got into it for. So I'm here if y'all need me.
Thank you, Tiff. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
Alrighty. All right, you guys. I hope you really enjoyed that session with Tiffany Washington.
So good.
She is absolutely amazing. If you guys need any additional information in regards to any of the down payment assistance programs that we discussed today, or just any information period, feel free to contact Tiffany, but also follow us at Top Tier Transaction Team on Facebook. Join the
Wait
group.
a minute. Do I see my sister, the appraiser Potter on here? Would you be willing to come to the screen and talk about what you're seeing in the communities for appraisals? I'm not gonna put you on the spot.
Look at the notes.
Thank you. This is very rich. You know what? Let's bring her. I'll reach out to you, sis. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. So next week you can come on here live with Ashley and talk about appraisals and what you're seeing in the community as far as appraisals are concerned.
Not next week, the week after. I won't drag y'all for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, next week is
But I was saying
Thanksgiving,
you
my
can see
bad.
her comment on here. Because remember, we can see comments there.
Oh yeah. Oh, she said realtors and appraisers here. Great information. Yep, I just witnessed that she was on here. Sis, if you can join and talk about appraisals the week after, not next Thursday, because I know everybody will be out eating turkey, but if you can join and really talk about appraisals and what you're seeing in your appraisal business, she said, yes, I would love to. That would be absolutely amazing. What I would love to do, this is my daughter's platform. So if we can combine and do two platforms at one time, I'm going to find a way for us to run both platforms at one time and have you come on here and talk to us about appraisals. That would be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited. When you talk about a strong Black woman, a dope Black woman, and one of the dopest appraisers in Atlanta, y'all going to get it, y'all. Not this Thursday, next Thursday. Tune back in.
Yes, let's do it.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. You have something to look forward to already. We got another date booked with another powerhouse, and we get to see Nicole Ambrose yet again. Not next Thursday, but the Thursday after that. So, you guys, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for joining, and we love you.
Now I can kick her out of my house. Go. Bye. You can leave Denver. Is that possible for you to leave Denver?
Y'all.
Is it possible for you to leave Denver?
Ooh, you just wait. You just wait. I'm having me a hot girl summer next year, y'all. So she gonna be babysitting.
She just talking, y'all. She only. all these past couple of years, she ain't been pregnant. She ain't doing nothing but traveling. She ain't hot girl summering, nothing, unless it's on the airplane attached. All right, guys. We love you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for having me, Ash.
Thanks for coming.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.